Hey traders, welcome back. This is our weekend review performance report for the week of October the 10th, 2022. So we're getting there. We're catching up. I'm 3 days in on my 40-day goal of doing a video every day, and so far so good. I've got another one even lined up for tonight for you guys. So I think you'll like that one a lot. But let's get into it. Let's take a look at our performance for this particular week. So again, this is for the week of October the 10th, 2022. We took about 22 total trades in our official trades in our trading room. Now, one of the things that I wanted to mention here is that, we probably did closer to 40 to 45 trades. And that's probably pretty typical for every week that we have. But usually every week, at least half of what we're doing activity-wise is just adjusting or adding to or subtracting to an existing trade, but it's not necessarily initiating a new trade or booking a profit or loss on an existing trade. So it's just more of a modification of what we've already got going on. But these were our 22 official trades that we took this week. Started the week off again with a nice overnight Theta Ferry trade on Sunday evening. That trade has really made a huge difference to our overall just trading approach in terms of smoothing out our returns, giving us some consistent money to start the day with every day. That's a big thing. You may or may not be impressed with $100 a day, but the interesting thing with trading is that it's scalable. So, that could easily be $1,000 a day, could easily be $10 a day. You can scale your trading to whatever level you want. So it's really more about ROI than it is anything. And I mentioned that I have another video that I want to share with you guys today, and it is largely comprised of talking about one of our members' experiences over the last couple of months with the Theta Ferry trade, combining it with the IWM Strangle, and I think you'll be blown away by the numbers that he presented. So I think it's a pretty cool story. But anyway, Theta Ferry trade worked out quite well. Our IWM Strangle, we continue that string of no losses. Knock on wood. We're almost to the end of the year. It'd be wonderful if we get through the whole year and not have a single solitary loss there. That has been such a great consistent trade for us. We put a short position on Rev. Should have just held on to that thing. When a company declares bankruptcy and the share price still has value in it, that's a pretty, we talk a lot about having an edge in your trading. That's a pretty good example of having an edge. We booked a nice profit on it, but it could have been a whole lot better. And one of the things that we've talked about is, hedge funds. Back in the day, that was such a new, cool strategy, and all they really were doing was just shorting things while they were still long things, and that's what we try to do here as well. Even if the market is going up, we want to have short positions on. It just makes sense from a risk management profile in terms of how you want your trades intercorrelated. Our Qs and our SPY trades, both of those ended up quite nicely and did quite well. We had a 0 DTE, $9,000 in on that trade. That should just be 1K there. $9,000 buying power in on the trade. Booked about a 6% profit or so on that. And then we initiated a long position. This is a carryover actually from my scalping that I did on Friday of the previous week. And I held these 3 long E-mini positions. So again, it's really important to have a really good arsenal of trading strategies in front of you. You'll see this week that a real good portion of our income in the trading room came from the cash flow from this. So, those are pretty big positions, about 15 grand to carry one long E-mini contract. So it was a lot of buying power in on that trade, but then we covered those and we're able to bring in some really, really nice cash flow. So about $3,800 on our first trading day of the week here for the week of October 10th. That started us off quite nicely. Tuesday, in the scalping room, I scalped the MES because I had these long E-mini positions. So, you can't be trading in and out of something that you have an existing position in unless you want to liquidate it. And that ended up being a pretty good day. But oh my gosh, if you're not using strictly a futures trading account, trading the micros will just eat you up commission wise. But nevertheless, a good day in the scalping room. Theta Ferry trade, we're just barely able to escape with a teeny tiny profit there, but still profitable. Zero DTE, it was not a max loss, but it was very, very close. $4,600 loss on our Zero DTE on Tuesday, and I think that brings us to 9 total losses on the year with our Zero DTE. We'll update that here in just a moment. Still had the long ES contracts in place and still cash flowing those, covering those every day. Just a covered call zero DTE. That's one that you haven't heard of a lot, but that's what we were doing here. So even with some great profit on the long E-mini contracts, ended up with about a $600 loss on the day. But boy, it certainly could have been a lot worse. And again, it really points to the importance of having more than one trade working at any given time. I don't know what's happened with Zero DTE. All you have to do is do a quick cursory Google search, or for heaven's sake, don't go type in Zero DTE into YouTube. I mean, it's just exploded. Everybody and their dog are focusing on and doing Zero DTEs. They're so popular right now. They've never been this popular. And that's fine. That's all well and good. But a lot of these are what I would call one-trick ponies, where that's all they're doing. That's the only thing, and it just doesn't. There is no one strategy that is good enough, solid enough, consistent enough to just say, oh yeah, this is the only thing you ever need to focus on. So today, this Tuesday, was a really good example of how important it is to be diversified in what you do. Wednesday, we had a pretty decent day, and again, it was largely attributable to the long E-mini contracts and covering those for some really, really nice income off of those trades. We had a Zero DTE debit spread, which ended up being a really nice trade. Put about $400 into the trade. Don't do a lot of debit spreads, but you'll see as we fast forward now here today. This is from the week of October 10th, and I'm recording it here on November 23rd. So as I catch up here with our results, you'll see that we're looking at a lot more debit spreads as some of the edge that you could potentially get in these credit spreads, they're going away as the expected moves are coming down. So, not a lot of money, $60 profit, but from an ROI standpoint, it was pretty nice. We did a Zero DTE later in the day on the NDX, 8,000 in on the trade, $1,200 profit there. That was amazing. That was well above our expected results there. The PPI number came out early, before the cash market opened up, and we did scalp that. I scalped that with just one contract, but we were able to scalp in and out of that for about 40 minutes and brought in $1,100. Again, scalping can really help, solidify everything else when you've got just other stuff that's not working on the day. Theta Ferry trade clicked in just like clockwork, gave us our $100 profit. And then that long E-mini contract, still 3 of them continuing to cash flow those. That was a big cash flow day there. About $8,700 profit on the day there. Thursday, scalping, what scalping giveth, scalping taketh away. So on Thursday, I was scalping the NQ, the NASDAQ, and that is that is just a beast. It is just an absolute beast to try to scalp. And the only reason that I did that was because I had these long E-mini contracts on. And so, I would have to take that off if I was going to be buying and selling the E-minis. Went with the NQ, wasn't a good choice. It was a tough day scalping, $3,800 loss there. Did another debit spread, 0DTE, $800 in this time, $400 back. Again, not the world, but it is a 50% return, which is fantastic. Did another 0DTE on the SPX for $26,000. We were able to double dip in on that one and get a $6,600 profit. That was an amazing one, and that one really saved the day for us, based on the loss that I took scalping. Theta Ferry trade came in just fine once again, and then we did a butterfly right near the close, a whopping $40 of buying power in on it. And we got out of it at $80. So we doubled our money. We made a $40 profit on it. About a $3,000 overall profit on the day, even with the poor results in the scalping room. Friday, we did a 0DTE and brought in $1,200 on $16,000 of buying power. So this is sort of how our results pan out for the week. Okay, so overall on the week, a lot of buying power deployed. Those 3 long E-mini contracts are expensive. So that was $45,000 on certain days that I was carrying. So a lot of buying power deployed, a lot of generally higher than normal amount of average buying power deployed throughout the day as well, each day, day to day. We talk about, the relationship between our net profit on the week versus how much capital we have deployed, because this number doesn't really mean anything in and of itself, right? Our net profit on the week could be $1 million, which would sound impressive, of course, unless you found out that we were trading $100 million, right? And now, obviously, it's not that impressive. So where we really get excited, I would be excited if this net profit for the week was $1,000, if our average buying power that we had deployed on a daily basis was $1,000. When you get into that, 1-for-1 ratio, man, that means you were pretty darn efficient with your trades. So even though this is a really big number for the week, it's not really any more impressive than any of our other weeks, because we did have to deploy a fair amount of buying power to get there. So anyway, good solid week for us, even with some big hits that we took, on the 0DTE, as well as a day on scalping. So going through our numbers quickly now, updated through 10/10, you can see that we've had 160 days of let's back up there, 160 days of 0DTE trading opportunities. There we go. We've taken 238 total trades. Took a loser, added to our loss column this week. So now 229 losers and 229 win. That would be bad. 229 winners, 9 losers. Still at about a 96% win rate, which I think is pretty darn good. Our 4DTE trades, those worked out for us. We're at 119 on the wins, 7 on the losses. So not really too much difference in win rate. I think that equates to like a 94% win rate, something like that. So pretty darn close on the 4 DTEs and the 0 DTEs. Our IWM weekly credit strangles, we're up to 43 winners, no losers. Again, I'm recording this on 11/23, which is a Wednesday. FOMC announcements coming out here in just a couple of hours. And we just pulled our IWM trade for a whopping $3 profit. We usually pull these trades before big news catalysts like that, and then we'll put them back on. So yeah, a whopping $3 profit on our IWM this week. But it keeps the string of winners alive, which is nice. Pairs trades, we haven't had a single losing pairs trade yet. That's nice. Got a few of those still working. We added a bear market trade, and that worked out. So now 68 winners, 3 losers there. We added another positive Vega trade. We're using the DIAs on those. We're having to chase the DIAs a little bit. Man, the Dow has just been really, really strong. You wouldn't know that we're in a down market or a bear market if you look at the Dow. But we're still hanging in there with that quite well. Had some good and the bad there with our scalping this past week. Dragonflies, we added another dragonfly, and we've got one of those right now. You'll see here in the next subsequent weeks with Boeing that did not work, and we're still working that trade. So I think it's fine, but it's being worked. It's in the process. Theta Ferry trades, those are continuing to be really successful for us. Again, we have had 38 total trades, 37 winners, 1 loser. The 1 loser, again, our target profit here on these overnight trades is $100, and we use a 3-time stop loss on that, and that's what our loser was a $300 loss. So with that level of consistency and needing 3 winners to make up for a loser, it's been a very, very positive expectancy type trade for us. It's been, and it's nice to wake up in the morning to just having $100 already in your pocket. The gold ladders, we added another gold ladder, and that's a little bit like the positive Vega trade. It's a trade we've had to be working a little bit, but it's still been working quite well for us, and nice profit potential there. The oil trade is working as well. Haven't had to do any changes there. Although I will say that, again, today, this is from our performance from 10/10/2022, and today is November the 23rd. This week, we did just have to make a pretty big adjustment in our oil as oil has started to come back down. AST, excuse me, AST, our asymmetric trading system. This is investing, not trading. 5 minutes a day and then you're done. Just lovely. It's just lovely. We crushed the market last year. We're crushing the market this year. So it's just been awesome. So zero DTEs, we're down to about a 97% win rate now with those 8 losers. Try to keep it above 95%. By the time we get to December 31st, that was my goal at the start of this year, was to have at least a 95% win rate. Our average drawdown on our 8 losers has been 2.8 times our credit received. So two of the 8 were a little bit more ugly in nature, but that's been our average drawdown, 2.8 times. So again, not anything that is not fixable over time. Again, the AST model has just been amazing. I cannot say enough good about this type of a movement versus this type of the movement that we've been getting in the marketplace. It's just been awesome. Just been absolutely fantastic. If you have an investment account, mutual funds, anything like that, I cannot fathom that you're doing better than what we are doing in our AST model. It might be something that you want to check out. AST, again, we're basically outperforming the market percentage-wise this year by more than we did last year, and we doubled the market last year. So that's our results for the week of 10/10. If you want to get a free trial to check us out, you can do that. It's absolutely free. Our live trading room is good for experienced traders. If you know how to trade, that's a good starting point. If you need to be taught how to trade, I can help you with that stuff, but you're not really applicable for our trading room. It's just for traders that need a business plan. They want to know on a Monday, what are we going to do on Thursday? What are we going to do on Friday? What can I expect this week? What type of trades can I plan on? So they need a business plan. They need a mentorship. They need higher level trading strategies. They need to move away from just whatever the trade du jour is. And the trade du jour right now are zero DTEs. That's what everybody wants to focus on. And of course, that doesn't make any sense to ever focus on one singular type strategy, no matter what it is. If you're already in a trading room that you're paying money for and they didn't give you a real trial, that's always a red flag to me. If they're not tracking their results, that's a red flag. If they're not doing, several dozen different setups and strategies, how do you get diversified then, right? If they're not trading dynamically, if they're just statically putting stop losses in, anybody can do that. You don't need to pay somebody money if you're just going to use stop losses. You can figure that out. You can say, how much of this money in this trade am I willing to lose? Find out where that level is, put in a stop loss. It's either going to work or it isn't, right? You don't need anybody's help to trade with stop losses. And lastly is our 200% guarantee. So, if you follow along what we're doing and you get to the end of your first month, you don't feel like it was just amazing, the most amazing trade room you've been a part of, I'll give you 2 times your monthly subscription back. So really no downside. Our investing program, that's good for investors, not traders. It's passive, just takes 5 minutes a day. It's based on risk management. So we're really focused on taking less risk as measured through standard deviation than the overall S&P 500. And our results show it. I don't know what else to say other than our documented results in AST are phenomenal. They speak for themselves. So if you got an investing program, I highly doubt, it sounds prideful to say that, but I highly doubt that you're doing better than what we're doing right now. Check it out. It might be an interesting setup for you. Our scalping room is great if you're looking for adding a different sort of feather in your cap, a different tool in your toolbox. Trying to figure out how many metaphors I can come up with. Just something else to give you the ability to make some money. You saw this week how critical diversification was. I had a day where our 0 DTE didn't work and scalping picked up the slack. Had a day where our scalping didn't work, 0 DTE picked up the slack, right? So you just never know which trade is going to work and which one isn't. That's why we have a diversified approach. So scalping, if you want to check it out, I think it's a way to hone your trading skills. And again, we have free access to these. If you want to get into our live trading room, you can just go to try0dteforfree.com. You can trade for free with us for 7 days. You can participate. You can get a mentoring session with me. You can ask questions. You can interact with our other members. But you'll witness, I think, what is the most powerful trading room online right now. If you're more interested in investing, you can get a 2-week free trial with our AST program, again, focusing on better returns in the market at lower risk. Go to tryastforfree.com. And scalping is pretty easy. You just go to tryscalpingnow.com. You'll get access to a live screen feed, video feed of me scalping. And it's pretty easy and straightforward from that standpoint. 1 day a month can be life-changing. 1 day, you got PPI, you got CPI, you got non-farm payrolls, you got FOMC. Every month there are 1 or 2 catalysts that if you could get in there and spend 20 to 40 minutes, you might be able to make enough change to have made it worthwhile for your whole month. So there are interesting opportunities in scalping. I love to trade things that are news-driven catalysts because you know when it's going to happen, right? You know when it's going to happen. Like you can say, next Thursday at this time, this report is coming out, and I know it's going to create some volatility and give me an opportunity with scalping. So anyway, you can check all these things out. I always appreciate your guys' comments. Let me know in the comment section what's working for you guys. Let me know what trades you guys are working on that you're finding value with, that are good risk-reward ratio type trades in this crazy market environment. So look forward to hearing from you guys. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.